Is it not coming through? Where are we? Oh, we're on. Hello. Just make sure anyone can hear me. Can I ask? Can you hear me? I just need to check that first. Hello. Hello, Barry Cuts. Can you hear me? I'm still new to this live stuff. Just need to try and make it a bit quicker. Latency's a little bit too long. Oh, great. Right, so if anyone's got any questions, then please fire away, and I'll do my best to answer them. Was it you, Barry Cuts, that was talking about how to get a darker engraving? All right, thanks very much. Yes, so for a darker engraving, there is a few things that you can actually do. I'm sure you've tried a few. I mean, to get more heat, you can either turn the power up of the laser, of course. Hello, ordinary woodworker. You can slow the laser down, which also puts more heat into the area. Another thing you can do is to increase the amount of steps that the laser will do. So that's sometimes called a DPI. So depending on what laser you're using, it might be called something else. But it's basically the amount of lines it will do going forward. So let's say you do an engraving, it'll do 100 lines. Then you can set that to do, say, 150 or 200 lines. And again, that will put more heat into the area, giving you a darker engraving. But at this point, you will also get a deeper engraving. Now, I think you were saying that you didn't want to go as deep, but you wanted it dark. So another thing that you can do is to actually offset your focal point by a couple of millimeters, and just where it's normally positioned, so it's in focus on the top of the material, you can actually make it out of focus by dropping your material so it's about 2 or 3 mil offset. So instead of being directly on the material, it's actually the focus point's about here, which is just off it. That will basically make the spot of the laser a little bit wider. So instead of having a really good small focus point on your material, it'll be out of focus, so it'll be a wider beam, and it'll actually help to darken the material. There are some, I have heard of some fluids that you can like put on the material, which would help to darken it. I can't think of what they're called at the moment, but it's just coating the surface with a liquid. I think it begins with B, but I can't remember, to be honest. LPC and Xtool Studio. LPC. What's LPC? But yeah, there's a few different ways there that you can actually get a darker engraving. Borax. Yes, that's the one. Now, I don't think we can get that in the UK. I think that's more, you can get it in America. but you can put borax on, and that would help to darken the engrave. Yeah, thanks, Ordinary Woodworker. Yeah, just slipped my mind, that did. Yeah. What is LPC and Xtool Studio? I'm reading that in the comments. To be honest, I haven't been into Xtool Studio for a while. I don't know what you all design in, but Xtool Studio is very limited with what you can do. Okay, so the Ordinary Woodworker he has used borax to get a darker engrave. The issue is it causes lots of black dust. Yeah, and I would suggest not using that. And if you could use one of the other ways to get a darker engraving, such as making the focal point out of focus, or slowing your engrave down, turning the heat up, turning the laser power up, I would try one of those 3 methods before I'd use borax. Plus, it's just an extra cost as well. Okay, the key is do not wipe it hard, just lightly, then clear coat it. Yeah, I think it's probably like when you cut around the edge of a material. If you're doing a thick material, you do like MDF, say, you do get a darkening, dirty, sooty edge. So it's probably similar to that. Yeah. Again, cleaning things up, it's just extra work. So, and an extra cost as well. Do you have any questions, the Ordinary Woodworker? What software does everyone like to design in? I mean, myself, I tend to use Illustrator, which I have done for years, but now Affinity is free. I'm tending to try and move over to that. I'm just very fast in Illustrator, but Affinity Designer, the vector program in it, is very similar to Illustrator. So I'm trying to move on to that. I've used Coral Draw. I actually use that at the workplace I'm at now, but it's I don't like it very much. It's horrible, to be honest. Does everyone use Xtool Studio, or do you use Lightburn, or have you got a different laser that you use a different software? Because I sell digital downloads, I do get lots of questions from people with lots of different lasers, and they all use different laser software. Let me just have a look here. Yeah, We Create and Falcon Design Space, Cricut Design. Well, that's more for knife work. Yeah, Inkscape. Yeah, Inkscape's good. It's free. I've tried to help some people with Inkscape, and it's okay. But Affinity is a lot better, and it's more on a professional level, such as Illustrator and Photoshop. Plus, with inside Affinity, you've got Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, which is the vector program, and you've got Affinity Publisher, and they're all free to use at a professional level. So if there's anyone wanting to start learning some design software, that's what I'd tend to tell them to go to straight away. If they're going to learn one thing, learn Affinity, because it's free. I know Inkscape's free, but with the ability to do photo editing as well, then it's all in one package, really. So do you all have Xtool machines? I haven't got one, to be honest. I've done lots of tutorials for Xtool Creative Space in the past. I was thinking about doing some updated ones for the new Xtool Studio. The thing is with Xtool and their software, they've tended to shift things about in the design software, and they've done that quite a lot. It's so you do a tutorial showing how to do one thing in it, and the next minute they've rearranged the whole design space. I should do an updated version really. But I just know Xtool, they're going to shift things about again. Yes, yeah. You can create, edit vectors in Affinity. Yeah, that's the design space. I mean, I can get it up on the screen if you want to see quickly. I could flick it on. I might just see if I can do that. Right, let me see if I can turn that off. Okay. So with inside Affinity, you have the Pixel Studio, which is for photo editing. You've got a layout, which is for publishing books and things like that. And then over here, we've got the vector suite, and you can chop and change to use different tools from different areas. See all these tools, sorry, all these tools are for photo editing. All these tools now are for vector editing. So it's very simple. I mean, if you want to draw, you just press P, which is the pen tool, click and hold, you know, and make some shapes. One thing I did look at earlier, I mean, we've got lots of shapes here, which we can choose from. So if I choose the ellipse tool, click and hold, and if you hold shift, you make a circle. So, sorry, had company, it's lines per centimetre. Okay, yes, that's it, lines per centimetre. It's called different things in lots of different programs. But again, if we choose the pen tool and we just make some shapes, very basic. And then if we come down here, so it's also got this great shape builder tool. So what we can do there is, select everything first. And then if we go to the shape builder, if we click and drag, we can start making shapes. So that's now chopped out as one. And we can do this, and we can kind of make a jigsaw if we do that. So then now, I mean, if I colour these in using the fill, all different colours, blue, choose this one to be pink, this one to be, let's go yellow. There, and if we delete all these outside lines, now what we've got is broken up shapes. Oh, I should have joined that up, but sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. Again, though, if we just select those and go back to the shape builder, we can add that in. This one, we can add that in. Do that. There. And you and then you can make jigsaw pieces basically. So yeah, it's a very handy free tool. Yeah, wow, I'll definitely check out Affinity. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I mean, if you're going to if you want to progress to doing more more professional designs and things like that, use a professional editing software. I mean, like I say, I've been using Illustrator for 15 to 20 years, but now Affinity's free. It seems a no-brainer, really, and as it's all in one package, the vector program and the photo, which is pixel based, it's pretty much never-ending what you can do. Can it edit nodes in vectors? Oh yeah, definitely. So if you just select a shape, it doesn't matter which one. I think it's A, which is normally the same as Illustrator. God, oh no, sorry. Go back to the Vector Studio. Node tool, which is A. And then you can basically move them about. Let's just zoom in. You can grab the handle to reshape. If you want to then turn this into a smooth shape, up here we've got sharp and then smooth and then whatever smart is, I'm not too sure. But smooth and sharp is exactly what you want. So you bring that out and everything moves together. And then sharp is exactly what it says. And then to get back to separate handles so they work independently, you just hold, is it Alt? Yeah, hold Alt. And then when you've made an edit, let go of Alt. And then you're now back to editing on their own. And if you want to select them all, you just press Control A. That's got everything selected. Then you can move them about. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. Yeah. Oops. Let's see. Oh God, don't want to put that there. There we go. I'm still getting used to all this. Lots of screens open and lots of things going on. There we go. So yeah, that was a little quick introduction to Affinity. I could always make some tutorials on that as well, really, but the three things that you're going to use is the main select tool, the node editing tool, and you'll use the shape tool to make shapes, which is great for doing things like jigsaws. You can do those really fast. So I don't know if you've seen the I thought about doing this. I've seen like some really complicated jigsaws with really intricate geometry, like lots of hexagons all joined together, making like a nice pattern shapes. So all you'd need to do there is to create a hexagon or even an octagon, do an array in the width and the height, and set them inside, say, a circle or a hexagon or octagon or square, and then just use the shape tool to go around and select lots of different joining hexagons or octagons, and you can make some really nice jigsaws. In fact, what I've just thought of, you can actually personalize them too. So you could actually go around and say someone called Alan, you'd do the shape of an A and the L-A-N. There's lots of things you can do, really. So what do you use then, ordinary woodworker? You use Inkscape, NX tool, and Lightburn. God. Does anybody have any more questions on machines, lasers, CNC, design software, or programming software? or machines themselves. So what type of X-Tool machines do you have? Do you have the P series, the S series? I think, is it the P series that is an actual CO2 laser that'll cut acrylic? I've got a couple of little diode lasers out in the back, and down in my workshop I've got CO2 lasers, and in my garage I've got a big CO2 laser. I have the S140 watt. Is the S series the diode lasers? I do quite like the little diode lasers, apart from the bed size, which is kind of small, but they are quite powerful for they seem to be more powerful than a CO2, say a 40 compared to a 40 and a 20 compared to a 20, because I've got a little 20 watt. I've actually managed to cut through 12mm poplar ply with a 20 watt, which is really outstanding. You know, I'm not even sure a 20 watt CO2 would do that. It might do, but the dot size seems to be a little bit smaller with the diodes. Yeah. Has anyone got any questions they'd like to ask? I just seem to be rambling on. I tend to do that sometimes. But has anybody got a CO2 laser, like a larger bed size? I don't know, 900, 600 or 1200, 900? Or even a CNC machine. Has anybody got one of those? You've got a monoport 80. Oh, nice. So I bet that's a bigger, well, it will be an 80 watt laser. You can have a bigger bed size with that. Definitely. Yeah. And you'll be able to do acrylic with it as well. I mean, that's the only reason I got into lasers. 900, 600. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a good bed size, that is. I've had all sorts of sizes, and I found the 900 by 600 was kind of the perfect size. On my 1200, 900, when you're starting to do like very small things and want to go quite fast, there's a bit of I found there was a bit of movement in the gantry. You know, when you're going up fast and then you do a 90 degree turn, it just wants to keep going that little bit extra, and sometimes you get a little not a perp, you get a nice edge, a nice corner, but one thing it was to slow it down really. But sometimes you just want to get things done and go as fast as possible. Where's everybody from? Are you all in America or UK? I'm in the UK and it's coming up to 6:30 now. I wasn't too sure what time to do this live stream, but I'm going to try and do these every week. I might try one in the week as well, actually. Because I want to get back into actually creating stuff again, and just want to build a bit of a community on here. You know, everybody can help each other out. Perfect example was the borax. I completely forgot what it was called. But that was it, yeah. State of Washington. Ah, brilliant. Yeah, so it's this side. East side, is it? Closest to us anyway. Yeah, I want to get back into actually designing and creating things again. for the past couple of years or so, I used to have a business, or two businesses, laser cutting, CNC cutting, but everything went a bit tits up after COVID. People would go onto our website, people that were at home that had been furloughed, basically bought cheap Chinese lasers, went to our website, copied us, undercut us because they were working from home as a second job. So it was really hard to keep up with energy going up, materials going up. So in the end we had to close because it just wasn't worth it anymore. But so I've been just designing and selling my digital downloads for the last couple of years. But I've found it's the same thing again with people just not just copying what you do, but literally taking your designs and then reselling them. And it's when you spend a day or two on a design only to find someone else has just stolen it to resell it, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth, let's say. So I've got to the point now where I've actually had to go and get a job for now. But like I say, I want to get back into creating things again. I'll probably do some more designs and maybe do a live stream in the middle of the week. And I'll designing some new products, and then I'll try and use Affinity for it so I can actually show off what it can do as well as learn it, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, if you've got any questions or if you need any advice with anything, then please ask. I'm sure it sounds like you've been lasering quite a while if you've got some diodes under CO2. Do you do it for a business, or is it just a bit of a hobby, making personalised gifts for yourself and family? As if you're still there. I mean, I was chatting to a guy the other day. He's got some little lasers, and he was just doing it for a hobby, basically. But he was building his own CNC machine, which was nice. Okay, thanks. I've watched some of your videos where you design some cool shapes in Xtool Studio. Only a hobbyist. That's great though. It's a nice little hobby, and you can create things and create some nice personalised gifts for family members. That's always a good thing. Well, if you do want to sell any of your work, then Etsy's pretty much free. It might cost you 20p a listing, and that gets listed for about 3 months. You know, it's quite nice when you sell your first things though, because you get recognised that people actually do want to buy your things. Yeah, I mean, Xtool Studio or XCS, whichever. You can make some nice things in it, although it is a little bit limited. But as you've got Lightburn as well, you can do a bit more in there, and it's a little bit more user-friendly. But yeah, you should definitely check out Affinity. It's free to download, free to use, so it's a no-brainer, really. And then again, you know, if you need any advice with how to do anything, I can always show you that. Help you with that. Although there will be plenty of YouTube videos as well. I think we've got another person joining if they want to ask any questions. Well, what type of things do you make? Your work. Be nice if there was a feature where people could post pictures or so on this chat. But yeah, I'm still new to it, so. Right. Ooh, what's this? Engage with your audience. Oh, I don't know what I'm clicking there. Mostly wall art. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've got one here actually. This is one I designed a little while ago. It's an elephant mandala thing. I don't know if you can see that. And I designed this a few years ago. And what I did with that was I actually asked, I think it was Midjourney, to come up with some kind of mandala elephant. And it came up with a rough shape. Some patterns I liked. And then I basically used that as a guide, and then created this design off that, but a lot cleaner and better. Oh, what, you've made this one? Yeah, there's a few out there. I mean, see, it took me quite a while for this, with all the intricate details and getting everything right. But it's very symmetrical, so you only have to really do one half and then mirror it over. Yeah, and then I've got oh, are we there? Right. A bit of dirt. This was one of I don't know if you can see that. The countdown ones, which you just spin the it's a bit broken, this has been battered around. Oh, there we go, broke. And it's backwards. But it's great what you can do once you put your mind to it. Oh, I'm going to just knock that down a touch. There we go. Oh, that'll do. I need to get a better setup at some point. But that'll do for now, I think. Has anybody else got any questions, or have you got any more questions? I wasn't sure if anyone was going to actually join this chat. But yeah, I had 3 people last time and a couple of people so far this time. The first person, this Barry Cuts, was asking about how to get a darker engraving. Yeah, he actually asked on one of my videos, so I just told him to come and join the live chat later today to explain a few bits. Do you have you won't have a CNC then? Have you any plans to get one? A CNC and a laser go together really well with being able to do the thicker items. It's just noise and dust, or dirt really, with CNC machines. Lasers aren't too bad. Well, if you can vent out to air, they're not too bad. It's when you start having to use air purifiers, can be a bit of a pain, expense. So what time is it in America? About 1:30 or 12-ish, 12:30? I don't know. Oh, you have 9 CNCs. The best one is my One Infinity. 10:30 a.m. Jesus. Maybe I should have done this stream later. I thought it'd be later than that. One infinity. All right. So do you use anything like Vectric, VCarve? That's what I'm using at work at the moment. I used to use ArtCam, you know, and there's Fusion 360 and things like that. But I've done lots of CNC work, creating figures and props for theme parks. Carveco. Oh yeah. I think Carveco took over from ArtCam. Carveco, because ArtCam was bought out by Maya. Who owns Maya? Autodesk. And they shut ArtCam down, and I think Carveco took over from it. So yeah, they're very similar, Carveco and Vectric. I'd say Carveco is probably better, but I've not used it. But if it's the old ArtCam, then yeah, they're very good programs. Yeah, I used to do a lot of 3D CNC cutting. That was quite good. Making massive figures and models for theme parks, but also great for flat cutting as well. Yeah. So a one infinity. Let's have a quick look at one of them. Oh yeah, cool. Thing is, all CNC works great for me. Yeah, I bet it does. Yeah. All CNC machines are pretty much the same. You've got an X, a Y, and a Z, 3 axes. So, you know, I mean, at my work, we've got it's only a 4 foot by 4 foot machine, big Chinese thing. But it, you know, the stuff it's doing is brilliant. Oh, the company's based out of Canada. Right. So my old machine was based from Canada too. It was an AXYZ. Big machine. And they're made in Canada and shipped over to the UK, where they basically assemble them and ship them out. But yeah, Canada, they seem to be doing quite a lot of CNC stuff. Nice. I mean, I'd like a CNC machine for home, to be honest. It's just the noise that I don't want to upset my neighbours too much. But these seem like a nice little machine. Not too expensive either. Yeah. And they've got... so what kind of spindle have you got? Have you got like a little trimmer, a little Makita or do you have a proper spindle? When I had my first homemade CNC, I actually got a small spindle, and it was made for CNC machines, but it was a very small one. But it still did the work. It still did the job. It's just I could only run it for so many hours before it overheated. But nowadays, everything's just cheaper and better, really. Right, a PWN spindle. PWN spindle. Yeah, yeah. Is it water cooled, yours? That seems to be similar to the one at work, but maybe the work one's a little bit bigger. It's quiet over a router, yeah. Oh, why has it gone poor? That's probably Starlink trying to find another satellite. does that now and again. Oh, there we go. Now live. Oh, I think, yeah. So, I'm rambling on again. I just thought I'd better ask if anyone's got any questions. I was hoping that that I actually sorted out the latency, because it's still a few seconds behind. I suppose it's not too bad, but maybe I'll try the other setting next time. What do you do for work? Are you a machinist, or are you retired? That could be one thing. Yeah. Well, I think we've got 2 people here, so I don't know if the other person wants to ask any questions. I was hoping, say that. Xtool did offer me a machine a year or 2 ago, but I was so busy with everything else that I turned them down. And I thought they might have offered me a machine to do some tutorials on since, but I've not actually heard anything. Because I did think, because the majority of people do have Xtool machines, I thought it'd be nice to do some actual videos on their machines. Just little things, even if it's just maintenance or even repairs, you know, or the best way to engrave and cut. But I've had a few different diode lasers, and I've got another one coming now actually that I'll do a review on soon, the 2 trees one. But they all go left and right and up and down, you know, X and Y, and they all have either a 10 watt, 12 watt, 20 watt laser, diode laser. There isn't much difference. The only difference is the software, really, and the drivers inside. Yeah. What are we on now? 43 minutes. Let's see if anyone else joins for questions. Maybe I should have written some things down, but yeah, I don't know. Have you done any 3D carving? 2.5D carving? or do you just mainly cut out with a router? Flat shapes? Yeah. God. I'm just staring at my screen. Right. A guy the other day was talking about some CNC software from Lightburn. Let's have a look at that. Milmarge or something it was called. I guess that'll be around $100 or so. I'm not sure how good that'll be, but it'd be a nice little starter software. But Carveco or Vectric would be much better. It's one of those, it's all right to start with, but then you want to get, when you want to do something a bit more fancy, you need the better software. And it's pretty much the same with design software. You can do a lot in Xtool, you can do a lot in Lightburn, but if you want full control of what you can do, then you'd want to be looking at something like Affinity. Or Illustrator, or even CorelDRAW, but that's one I wouldn't recommend. It's very frustrating to use. Well, it is once you've been using things like Illustrator for years. But Affinity from Illustrator, it just swaps over nicely. Should say excuse the rubbish room behind me, but it is what it is. I don't know if anyone's got a UV printer, but we used to do personalised gifts. We used to cut out, say, birch plywood and give it a nice sand, and then print on it. These used to be nice little things. That was with a flatbed UV printer. I used to do little things like this, the Goonies, all sorts. Well, I've got another person. I don't know if you... Yeah, I'll just say again, so if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask to do with lasers or CNC design or software, or even the machines themselves, you know, any advice with those, please ask. One thing that people should look into is some nesting software. I mean, I think there is some in Lightburn, and yeah, there is some in Xtool Studio now as well. But nesting your products is a real biggie. You can reduce your waste quite a lot. It was one of the main things we used. If we'd throw a 900x600 sheet on, we'd put all the signs on and then fill out the rest of the space with small shapes. And you basically got no waste then, maximising your profits. Anybody else got any questions? Would does anyone want me to do some more normal videos teaching design software, or how to use Xtool again? Oh, where's that gone? Weird. I have a big 1200 by 900 machine in my shed at home, and it's quite old now. I'm just going to knock that down a touch. It is, God, is that my belly? It's quite old now. It's probably 10 or 12 years old. And the controller on it is on its way out. So I have actually bought a new controller. The one that's in it is for an old software, Litro, and they use a program called Laser Cut. It's very limited what you can do, but you can engrave, you can cut, but you can't use Lightburn. You have to use this dedicated software called Laser Cut, and you need a dongle as well. And I think they're stopping, or they have stopped making these dongles. So if you haven't got one of them, you can't use the software. So I've actually bought a different controller, machine controller, that you can run off Lightburn. So I'm tempted to do a video of that, taking the old Litro controller out and putting a new, I can't remember what it is now, putting a new controller in ready to run with Lightburn. The only other issue is with the machine I've got out there is the laser tube was very old and on its way out. And a few years ago, I was running a lot of stuff at home, and I'd just installed the machine and I completely forgot about antifreeze in the water coolant, in the water cooler. And basically one night we had a very cold snap and the water froze and completely shattered the laser tube. So so I need a new tube for that, which they're easy enough to fit. It's just when they're about, I don't know, £600, and for what I use it, I don't really use the machine. It's just a bit of an expense that I don't really need, and that's why I've been using these little diode lasers for just cutting little bits out. And I've got another laser, 130 watt, down at my unit, so I tend to use that if I need to do anything. It's just balancing it, really. So I've had this controller for ages. It's just I've not fitted it. Bloody hell. Sorry, I've got a bit of a tickly cold. I'm looking like a fat belly as well. So has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask? Any help they need? God, it's yeah. It tells me there's 3 people there, so I just tend to be waffling on to myself. What laser machines do you guys have? I know Ordinary Woodworker, he's got a CO2 and an X tool and some 9 CNC routers. Wow. What's everyone else got? Does anyone use them for a little business, like an Etsy shop? There was a person on the other day that did earrings. I think she was selling them on Etsy as well. She had a bit of an issue with masking tape and it not being very good. But to be honest, I've always gone to remove the scorch marks. I've always used a palm sander. put your parts back into the sheet that it came out of, acts as a jig, just use a palm sander and run over it. The only issue is when you have very small parts, it tends to create a lot of vibrations and the parts just want to fly out. So yeah, you can mask off your parts and cut out. It's just more work. Everyone being quiet, or any questions? Do you all have X-Tool machines? Oh, one sec. Here we go. Oh, I'll drop that down again. I need to sort this camera out. That'll do. So I got some material not long ago, which is a coloured material, and you can cut it out. I tried to do some, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if it will focus. Engraving on these. Tried 2 different ways. There we go. Whoa. Like that. That's good because you don't actually need to paint it. It's already a coated material. Oops, do that. And if you see on the edge there. So that's quite nice. Oh, where have I gone? Subject lost. That's better. Yeah, so can't really see it now. It's a nice little material, but if you're doing earrings, it'd be perfect for things like that. Because if you get any scorch marks around the edge, I just used a baby wipe and it just wipes straight off. Nice and clean. Oh. Yeah, oh, God, sorry. I don't know how I've missed these chats. I must have scrolled up and it stayed up there. Sorry. Oh, right, I'm going to start back up. Right, I'm going to start back up here. Yeah, cool. Right, sorry about that. Right, so you still make money from laser engraving products. What's your best seller? I still make money from laser designs. Have we gone? But it's dropped off massively. Like I say, I get a lot of people just stealing my stuff and reselling it. I get messages all the time. So I just do a copyright strike on them and they soon remove them. But it's finding them. You know, I don't want to be searching Etsy every single day. It can take hours. It's annoying. That's why I've had to now go and get a full-time job again. I've still got to pay my bills. But I'd like to start building up my YouTube channel and then hopefully be able to get back into creating things and doing stuff I like again, really. Very slow. Yeah, well, the thing is, this time of the year is really slow. You tend to have a nice run up to Christmas, starting basically the end of August, through September, October, November, December. Really big run up, very busy. And then after Christmas, we were always busy January, January, February, March, because we always used to do a New Year discount, and then you've got a Valentine's Day, you've got Mother's Day, and then you've got Easter, which sometimes Easter's in April, so it was good till Easter, and then from then just very slow. We did do summer things such as weddings, but we were quite slow with them. But yeah, it's just one of those that you have a good period and then it's slow. My best sellers for Christmas, right, so it's all personalized items. Standard items sell, they're okay. If you can personalize it, then you'll sell more. And for Christmas, with my business, we used to do craft shapes and craft signs. So we used to do things like Christmas at the Smiths, and those were all very good. We also used to do personalized baubles. So years ago, we came up with the idea of a simple idea of putting a name inside of a bauble. And when we first started doing those, I think we sold about 30,000, 40,000 baubles. We did baubles and Christmas presents. That's what we started with. And they were always good. And then everybody else caught on and started doing it. Well, then it changed. We had snowmen and lots of different other shapes, and everybody does them now. But they still do sell because people do love them. You know, there's babies every year, so they all want. So there's always new customers. Can you do some videos using Affinity? That would be great. Yeah, I definitely can. Yeah, well, is there anything you'd like to see designed? And I'll use Affinity. I mean, I could do one of those complicated geometry jigsaws, you know, with the hexagons or something like that, showing how to do arrays. Although I've not looked at doing them, but I'll have a quick look first and then do a design on it. Very interested in Affinity, but I've never used it. Oh yeah, your Inkscape experience will transfer over, yes. The only thing is, things might be called something else. But honestly, the main tools you use that are the main your main selection tool. Yes, Barry Cuts, definitely. Did you see the part earlier where I was showing how to use Affinity and the shape tool? So the main things are your selection tool, your node tool, shapes, shape builder, and then your booleans combining. If you had a name, for example, you just put all your letters together and then boolean them all joined together. You can do that kind of thing in Xtool and Lightburn, but I think if you started using Affinity, you'd just do all your design in Affinity, save out as an SVG or something like that, and import into whichever program you want. Yeah, so I was just showing Affinity. I mean, I can show you quickly a few little things, unless you want to just. Well, this will go on my YouTube page anyway, so you'll be able to just skip through when it's live. Well, I can show you how to do. Well, I've not done one in Affinity, but I can try and do one. Xtool Studio got much better than XCS? Not really. There's not much difference. They've just changed the layout, basically. So my videos, which are over a year old now, the layout is completely different. So I was thinking about doing some updated videos, but people seem to be getting by with finding out where the new thing is. But with Xtool, they don't seem to add much in. They're adding in some paid features with their AI kit, you know, but I don't really want to use any of that. What was any other questions? Yeah, I'm sorry about not seeing your chats before. I scrolled up to see if there were any questions, and then it must have just stuck. Anyway, well, let me just fire up Affinity. Let's try. Okay. Let me delete those. So again, in Affinity, we've got the Vector Studio, the Pixel Studio. So the Vector Studio is like Illustrator. We've got the Pixel Studio, which is like Photoshop. And then we've got Layout Studio, which is more of a publisher for making books and things like that. So the main tools are your Move tool, your Node tool, your Pen tool, your Shape tool. So there's lots of different shapes in here. And then your Shape Builder, which is this one here. Oh, and of course your Text tool, Artistic Text. So let's try. Really boring. Hello. I don't know. What should we use? Let's try that. So we've got something like this, and in fact, I'm just going to take the fill off, so we can just click on that, and this node here will get rid of the fill. I know we can't see it, but with the stroke, this is in the appearance panel. If we click on the stroke, we can actually use this width slider and bring it up so you can see it. And then from there, you should be able to just right click, convert to curves. So if we do that, they'll all be curves. Bloody hell. They're all curves. But because we're on the Node tool, if we just go back to the Move tool, which is V, it's still all joined together, which is grouped probably. So again, right click and select Ungroup. So now we have all separate letters. So I'm just going to select that, and I'm going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard just to bring that over for zoom in. And then I'm just going to do that with each one, just bring it over. In fact, I'm going to do this one slightly different. I'm going to leave it open there. And I'm going to bring the H over. And the reason is I'm just going to extend this E here. So if I go to the Node tool, if I select E, select the E with the Move tool, and then go to the Node tool here, should be able to just, zoom in. And if you click, you're going to actually put an arc to it. Or you can just drag a box around these two nodes, and then you should be able to just bring it over, like so. And then I'm just going to go back to the Move tool, and I'm just going to highlight everything. And now I just need to find out, there we go, add. So these are your Boolean options. We've got add, subtract, intersect, XOR, and divide. So the one we want is this one here, add. If I click that, we're all joined together. The H and the E look horrible though. So just undo that. I'm going to bring that over, give it a bit of space, And then I'm going to go to the node tool again. I'm going to drag these ones and just bring those over. But because it's horrible here, I'm probably going to select these three and press delete. And I'm going to bring these two and press delete. I'm just going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard, and you've got this handle here, so we can actually put a bit of an arc to it. Something like that. So then, again, if we now select everything and use this add boolean, now we can see we've actually got a bit of space there. It's not the best font for doing this, but at least you get some idea. And then we can select it, put a fill to it, any colour. And if you wanted to get rid of the stroke, we just click on that and then remove that. And there we have hello. Put a stroke back on it, just so you can see it. Oops, make sure it's selected first. And it's as easy as that, basically. And then obviously if you wanted to save it out, you just go to File. I don't think you'd use Save As. We'd go to Export. Export that. Here you've got different options for JPEG, PNG, but for this, probably an SVG. Leave all the settings the same and click Export. And then if we just go to the desktop, click it there. I mean, you're probably best off saving it out with no fill on it, but let's just try, if I open Xtool Studio, and open that up. Let's just see if we can import. There we go, import. Go to my desktop, untitled, and there it is. I know it's on engrave. We can put it on the score layer, and there's the word hello. So it's just as easy as that, really. I'm going to drop this back over and put that back on. God, I've got a right tickly cough. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much as easy as that. And I've not actually done any of that editing in Affinity yet. So that was new to me, as it is to you. But like I say, because it's because I know a lot in Illustrator, it just transfers over very well. Do you mean, so you're asking about what size outline to use in Affinity for text and things to then bring over into Xtool Studio? I don't think it matters, because it's saved out as an SVG. It'll just bring in a single line as an outline, and then you can choose to put it onto the engrave layer for a solid fill, or cut or engrave for a single line. Yeah, the width of the line in, say, Affinity is just a visual element. You've still got you've still got a hairline line. It's just you're altering the actual visual aspect of it in Affinity, so you can see a thicker line. But when you export it as an SVG, you're literally just exporting the hairline line of the text. So whichever program you bring it into, you're just going to have a single line. And that's not just for text, that's for any shape. You're doing it in Affinity or Illustrator or CorelDRAW or Inkscape. Offsetting, yeah, definitely. Okay, so Barry Cuts, just 1 second, just Barry Cuts said if would be great if you could do some tutorials on Affinity in the future, like making a simple designs. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I'll just call it something like Affinity for laser cutting, and I'll basically just go through a few things like I've done, or if there's anything specific anybody wants to know, then I can always do that as well. Yeah, I mean, I can quickly show you offsetting. Again, it'll be brand new to me, just as it is to you. Let's have a look. So I'm going to flip this. Which one are we on? I'll turn that one off. Okay, so we want to offset this. Let's have a look. Yeah, right. So we've got the word hello. Now, sometimes, let's just think. You'd want to make this into a shape with an outline. Right. So we need to offset. Make sure we're in the vector tab. Let's just have a quick look at down here. Contour. There we go. It's called Contour Tool. And it says offset the stroke of a curve or a shape. And that's exactly what we want. So other programs call it offset, and other things in here it's called contour. So I'm not sure how. Oh, there we go. Click and drag. Now I'm going to turn this fill off, and to turn it off we just select this here. Now I don't like any of this, so there should be some options somewhere. I'm not sure where at them. Oh, there we go. Let's have a look at the top here. So we've got rounded, square. See how it's altering the corners. So we've got a nice rounded edge. Here we've got a sharp corner, and the next one's a chamfer. And then here you'll probably be able to use the arrow keys up and down. Oh, let's go here. Oh no. Let's type in 10. Make it crazy. Might have done nothing. Or 2. There we go. So if we choose a rounded, it might look better with this. Okay, maybe that's just for the mitre then. Oh, it does say choose the mitre limit of the contour. So that's just for mitres. Not sure what these are. Okay. So anyway, so we've got this rounded edge here, and all we need to do, it seems, is just click and drag. I'm going to delete that and do it again, to be honest, or go back, just so we've got it. Or how can I get rid of that? Right, so that's where we were. Oh no. Right, that's the shape that we had. So with that, we go to the contour tool, we click it, and then I'm just dragging on the line that I want to offset. So if I zoom in again, click and drag to set the amount. And you can actually use this here, these numbers up here. And if I said 10, we'd offset 10, or 20, or 40. And I'm going to choose no fill for that. Go back to the select tool. problem is, I think have we lost the inside? Okay, I'm going to undo that, because this will be another thing I can show you. In the layers panel, we can just do copy and paste. There might be a duplicate. There we go, duplicate. So we've just made a copy of the same thing here and here. So on the top one, we'll be able to do contour, drag that out, do the fill, get rid of that, which would leave that. I'm going to clean this up in a minute. And then if we turn this layer on, then we've got the original hello. So that's on two different layers. But if I turn that one off and zoom in, now what we can do is go to the node tool, which is A, and we can actually manipulate that just to make it a little bit smoother. And I think you're actually manipulating the original shape. So if I deleted that, then we have a nice smooth contour there. And that was basically just deleting the node on the original shape. But my guess is this is still a shape. So we would have to right click and convert to curves. And once we do that, now we have a single outside curved shape that we've got access to the nodes. So there was two ways to do it. We could have used the original shape or convert to curves first and then go ahead and start deleting some of these nodes, or then smoothing them out, you know, however. And then we can also delete some of these inside shapes, just like that, really. And then if we bring the original curves on, then we're back to where we were. So yeah. And just I'd like to say bear with me, because I have not touched any of these in Affinity yet. I could show you in Illustrator, but it's a bit pointless really, because hang on a sec. It's a bit pointless really, because if I show you things in Illustrator, it's a paid program, and Affinity is pretty much just the same as Illustrator, but free. So yeah, it's this is why I'm trying to get to use Affinity more now, so I can stop paying for Illustrator. There's no point when there's a program that's just as good. Yeah, well, you know, it's just about just trying really. Once you've used a tool once or twice, you kind of know what it does. And if it doesn't do what you want, you can always click escape or right click and just see what the options are. And 9 times out of 10, you'll just want to convert whatever it is into curves, because it's probably looking at it as a special shape. So once you turn it into curves, then you've got access to the nodes themselves, which you can manipulate, change the shape, delete, and whatever else. But yeah, I did have someone asking about boxes before, because okay, no problem. Yeah, thank you. All right, well, thanks for joining anyway. I did have someone asking about boxes, because they saw my quick Illustrator short on how to make boxes, and it was a bit too fast. But honestly, there's quite a few websites out there where you can just type in the dimensions you want and they'll automatically create the box vectors for you. I think one of them's make a case. Now I did a video on boxes a couple of years ago, or a year and a bit ago, showing a few different sites, and most of them are still there and still relevant, so they're worth checking out. I think one of the big one was a Python box maker. Was it Pi Case or Pi something? But they have lots of different designs in there. You can even make treasure chests, as well as jewellery boxes, standard boxes, boxes with sliding drawers, and all sorts really. They're handy. Well, if anyone else has got any questions, please ask, and I'll see what I can do. Whether it's laser or CNC or design or programming, yeah. Right, so we've got any other questions? Just rereading some of the questions. Oh, right, someone's got the ordering woodworker. He's got a Sculpt Fun. Wow, 5, 10 and 20 watt diode laser. And an atom stack and a Rolly. Wow. Is Barry Cut still there? Oh yeah. You do much engraving on slate? I don't really do much engraving or cutting at all at the moment, but I want to get back into it. We used to do mainly engraving and cutting, but it was mainly woods and acrylics. We didn't really tend to do much gifts. We did a few. I mean, I have done engraving on slates, you know, for things like weddings, and obviously you've got your standard coasters. Is that gone? I don't know if this is going or what. You've got your I mean, I've got a short showing a few different slate engravings, but it's always nice to engrave on the slate and then give it a coat of clear coat, some sealer, and that just locks everything in, and it also makes the slate pop, gives it a bit more contrast. Do you do do you do many personalized gifts? Do you sell them, or are they just for family and friends? I can't remember if you said or not before. That's to Barry Cuts. Oh yeah, and what about your best sellers for Christmas? There's those, but that was one. Ooh. What I showed before, which was this one with the countdown to Christmas. This was one of my best sellers, but obviously everybody's doing them now. But if you're actually physically making the product, you'll sell more than me. You know, you just spin this round, it goes day by day, even though it's backwards. This was one of my first test samples, and it's just slotted together with spacers so it can rotate freely. You see these spacers here, which are hidden on the front. Yeah, it's a nice design. I've got a few different designs of it, but yeah, they basically it just spins around. But yeah, countdown to Christmas. They're good at Christmas time. We had a few different designs. Some we had a building or a house with Santa on the top and snow on the roof, and basically I think there was 24 numbers, and you drop a white acrylic disc in, and then it'd just highlight the number, and you just count down to Christmas. You're saying, did I sell much on Facebook? Well, we had a website and a Facebook group. So are you trying to, if you're trying to, I don't know if you have a business or you're wanting to create a business, just want more advice on how to sell. So we had a website where we sold most of our items, but we also had the Facebook group where we could promote our items, and we didn't use Facebook Marketplace really. It was just more of redirecting everyone from Facebook to go to the website. Right, so I've seen some people talk about making a little moment from Facebook sales. I have no clue how to sell on there. I have a small business, just wanted more advice. Okay, we also used Facebook ads. They're okay, but it depends how much you want to put on, really. If you're a small business, then might not actually be worth it, or very little anyway. What you can do where are you based? Are you based in the UK, or are you based in America, or anywhere else? God, I really need to stop coughing. Well, anyway, there's lots of Facebook groups that people go to asking if you can make certain items. Oh, so you're in Kent, okay. There's a lot of craft groups, but you get a lot of people joining these craft groups wanting to buy items. So you can actually respond to people and then divert them or tell them to go to your Facebook page or your website or however you're selling. It's just an extra way of getting your name out there. So do you have a website, or are you just trying to sell purely on Facebook? Or do you have a shop? Because I know a few shops that, they sell in the shops, but they sell more online than they do from their actual physical shop. And a lot of the thing is, you are competing nowadays with absolutely everybody. I don't know. I would honestly find it really hard to have a business purely based on laser cutting, because every man and his dog does it now. And it was the reason we had to shut up our shop. We were going for 12 years or so, had thousands and thousands of customers, repeat customers. And since all these cheap Chinese laser machines came out, such as X-Tool and all the rest, it just opened the floodgates to everyone to be able to just buy a laser for next to nothing. And they just basically all they do is just copy what everyone else is doing. There's no unique products out there anymore, because as soon as anybody comes up with a brand new design, it's just copied. You've got 4 to 6 months on a new design if you're lucky. After that, everybody's doing it, especially if it's a really good design. I mean, I did these a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago, sold like mad. Well, then every man and his dog does them now. You know, so you sell just on eBay and personal to friends. Okay, so yeah, we had an eBay shop as well. So you've got eBay. You can have an Etsy shop. It costs something like 20p per listing, and that listing will last for 3 months. It's worth having one, just because they've got the traffic. You just need to get found on there. But the more items you have, then the more items it helps you to get found. It's just about getting out there, really. Facebook, start a group or a page, and just try and promote that by joining other groups and letting people know about you. I mean, we were a bit silly when we first started. We would jump onto every Facebook group that there was, and just say, if you want any craft shapes or any signs, personalised signs, come and visit us, and then put the link there to our Facebook page. Yeah, yeah. So if you're just laser engraving, there's a lot of people doing it. It's finding a product that is useful, that people want. Yeah. So I would just, I don't know, eBay, Etsy, or what you can do as well. Amazon have got their, what's it called now? It's like a Amazon Craft or something like that. Amazon Homemade. So you can actually list on Amazon and then get the order and send it straight out. You don't have to send your products to Amazon. You just ship it from your address straight to the customer. All you're using Amazon for is the listing. Let me just find out. I think it's Amazon Homemade. Made or handmade. Amazon made. It's something like, yeah, Amazon Handmade. I think it is. So you could look at that, because obviously Amazon has got a massive user base. So I don't think it costs very much at all, if anything. I mean, we had a proper Amazon site. We didn't sell much on it, but we only literally just started before we decided to close. It's just about getting your name out there. And places like Amazon and Etsy and eBay, they have the traffic. So it's not like if you have a business, a website, everybody can have a website, but you have to then get the traffic to come and see you. Whereas Etsy, Amazon, and everyone, folksy, we didn't use it. There's a few little ones out there. I think there's like things like Redbubble and Folksy, they just don't have the amount of users that some of these other places do, such as Amazon and eBay and Etsy. They have millions of users, customers, ready to buy. And the only reason people go on Amazon and Etsy and eBay is to buy things. So I'd definitely start with those three. I'd start a Facebook page, just so you're looking like a business. And the other option is to have a website. I mean, I've still got a website. I've got a Shopify one. I used to use a company called Create, which we used for 12, 13 years. I'm not sure on the pricing now, but if you've only got a few items, it won't be much. A Shopify one is about £25 a month. You list as many items as you want. And a Create one is probably similar. They might have a cheaper option for not as many items, maybe up to 100 items. Might be about £15 a month. But at least then, you're actually looking like a proper business. Because to get customers, you've got to be seen as trustworthy. If people are handing over the credit card details to buy things, you've got to be a trustworthy business. It doesn't matter so much with Amazon, Etsy and eBay, because they handle all the payment side. You just list your items for sale. And every item that you do for a family member as a personalised gift, you can then basically take a picture of and offer for sale. Or you could just do lots of samples and put them out for sale. But the more places you have your items listed, the more sales you're going to get. It's the same thing as the more items you have for sale, the more you're going to get. I've always thought of it in a way of if you went into a sweet shop and they only had 10 items for sale, there's not much chance you're going to buy something. But if you had a sweet shop that has 1,000 items, there's more chance you're going to get a sale. That's what I do. I must have missed that. Yeah. Is it just laser engraving, cutting that you do, or do you do any printing or anything like that? Just, we used to do CNC cutting, laser cutting, UV printing, flatbed printing, a bit of everything. I mean, the more you can do, the better. Like, I don't know, did you see this one before? This is just a bit of birch plywood, cut out and sanded, and then we used to print on them. So, like that. But the printing machine wasn't cheap. But you could do things like jigsaws and things like that. And I know X-Tool, they've got, I think they've got some print heads for the machine. I think they're not excellent at the moment, but maybe in a year or two, I think they'll get better and better. And there's cheaper and cheaper UV printers coming out now too. But yeah, I think most things, whatever you do, personalised items always sell better than standard items. One of the other things we used to do is a lot of street signs. So we had an 18mm back and then a 4mm front with the edge and all the text. They were always a good seller. But we also used to do layered street signs. So two laser cut pieces together, and we used to use 4mm MDF. So a 4mm back and a 4mm front, just for hanging up. I do have, just bear with me 1 second. So I do have like this acrylic street sign, which is "Welcome to the Madhouse," and that's just 2 3mm thick acrylic pieces. And it just says "Welcome to the Madhouse" on this one. "Welcome to the Madhouse" used to sell a lot, different fonts. So they're quite good to do. Bloody hell. Hang on, my chin. There we go. Just installed Affinity. Ah, brilliant. Made me log on through Canva, is that correct? If you've already got Canva, you can log in through that, or through an email address, or Google, yeah, anything like that. It's just, because it's owned by Canva now, they just want you to sign in, basically. But just do that, download, install, and have a good play around. Did I install the right one? Yeah. If you've got a big A as the software, just let me know anyway, and I'll let you know. Laser cutting and engraving. I have a full-time job and I do lasering for fun. Yeah. But nice to make a bit of extra cash. It is. Yeah. And it is just extra cash. If the thing is, if you're wanting to build a business, you've got to really treat it like a business. You need to put in the hours. If it's just for a bit of extra cash, yeah, I would literally concentrate on eBay, Etsy, and Amazon handmade. You don't have any of the extra costs of a website, or the costs of a website isn't the big thing. It's getting the traffic to your website, basically. Okay, so scripted fonts. Yeah. Oh, the big A. Hang on. Yeah, it's a lowercase a, I think, for Affinity. A green back with a black A. If it looks like the one before, then that's the right one. So scripted fonts. So the one that everybody uses is called SUSA. SUSA. SUSA font. And that is a nice script font. But if you're looking for fonts and commercial use free fonts, if you go to Google Fonts, in fact, I might just bring that up if I can do it on here. Oops. Not that one. Right, so I'm just going to type in Google Fonts, and we get here, Google Fonts, and you can type anything you want in here. So hello, which looks rubbish. Now you can scroll and scroll, or we can then look down here. We've got like artistic. We've got any script. Ooh, fancy. But you can look down here I mean, you're probably best off just looking through it all. But you've got like lobster, people use that a lot. There's so many different ones. Cookie. With some of these, such as cookie, it's okay, but you might have to put a bit of an offset to it just to thicken the lines up. But yeah, I mean, you can go to playful fonts, and there's a bit of all sorts in here. Or like I say, just scroll through, and you can just get an idea of what everything looks like. There's so many, and they're all free, so it's worth just checking out. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, but the biggest one is Sousa font. Pacifico, that's another one. And that might be on Google Fonts, Pacifico. But yeah, I'd just have a quick look through Google Fonts and pick out some from there. Right. I think on my next live stream, I'm going to try and get the latency down a bit more, because there is a bit of a delay still. It's not as bad as the last one I did. There was about a 25-second delay. This is probably about 5-8 seconds. I think I might try and put a few things down to talk about, or even maybe I should do a live affinity design as well as maybe doing a video showing how to design in Affinity. I think it is a good program that most people should start using, unless they're fully up to speed in other programs such as Inkscape or whatever, Lightburn. Then carry on. If you can do everything in them, then maybe there's no need. But I'm definitely going to start moving over to it. Do I sound okay? Can I just ask that? Because I can't hear anything apart from my own voice. That and me coughing. Well, I don't know, might call it a day in a minute. We've been on for nearly 2 hours. It's a good another little test. And it's given me a good few things to think about and some new videos to do. Yeah, I think I might do a video this week. Okay, thanks very much. Yeah, sound is good. Good. I think I might do an Affinity tutorial this week and try and get that out this week. Obviously do another live on next Saturday and see what happens there. Oh, brilliant. Well, thanks very much, Barry Cuts. Yeah, I do want to keep. I want to build up a bit of a community kind of thing with these lives, even though to me it just sounds like me talking to myself. But I think, you know, the more people we can get onto the chats, the more we can help each other out. I mean, I've got loads of knowledge. It's just getting it out, really, what everyone wants to know. But yeah, I'll have a look at some Affinity design tutorials. I'll try and get one out this week. Is there anything you'd like to see first, let's say? Or would you just like an overview of Affinity? Yeah, brilliant, brilliant, yeah. I mean, there's a lot more into it than, say, oh, my name is Gav. G-A-V or G-A-V-I-N, Gavin. Just call me Gav. But yeah, I think this time of year and through the summertime is always a bit quieter for selling. So if you're only doing it like for a bit of extra cash, it's not too bad. Yeah. Oh, what's that film? The Field of Dreams. If you dream it, they will come. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to dream it. They will come. Okay, and I'll start with an overview with some emphasis on vector editing. Yeah, I can do that. So I'll just go through what we've been through today and expand on it a bit more. Just so it's more tailored to the laser. Okay, very few. So I'll just tailor it for, like, you know, your text editing and offsetting. Very view, overview, and then design. Yeah. I suppose I could do a bit of a series. Start with an overview of everything with the basics, and then we can look at going a bit deeper into it. Well, I mean, laser engraving, designing for laser engravings, pretty straightforward. It's just 2D flat shapes just layered together to create depth or boxes. But yeah, okay. I might start looking at doing a video tomorrow and hopefully get one out midweek. Maybe I could try and get one out for Wednesdays and do a live on a Saturday. I do have another 2 trees small diode laser coming soon, so I'll have to do a review on that. But I'll just fit that in on a weekend. Okay. I don't know if anyone's got any other questions or want to see anything. Ordinary woodworker, it was the same. You've definitely got Affinity, the right software. If I flick screens again, hang on a second. Drop that over here. So if I zoom out, what you're looking for is up in this corner. As long as it's like that, and then you've got your vector, pixel, and layout. So what you want to be on is vector. You want to be on vector, and then on this side you should have all your editing tools. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Oh, I enjoy doing them. Just hopefully we'll get more people on for a bit more chat. Yeah, so if you've got your vector tools, obviously move tool, your node tool, your pen tool, your shape builder tool, and your shapes. To get more, to find out what other options there are, when they have an arrow in the bottom corner, that just means if you click and hold, there's more options there that you can choose. So basically a star tool, click and drag, and if you hold, you can try Control or Shift. It's normally Shift. Hold that down and then it'll scale proportionately, and then you can click again. Otherwise, see, like it's like that, and if I click Shift, it'll jump into proportion, and then click back on that, or click on move tool, and that'll disappear. I mean, you can even, if I zoom in on this, shape tool's good for without using the booleans. Again, we can go to the shape. If we just want this section, just click, and then we should have this section cut out of that and that. You see, dead easy. I like the shape builder tool, or the shape tool. You can just click and drag around. And if you haven't got some of these windows, like there's some stuff here, Quick FX, I'm never going to use that. If we go over to window at the top, we can start looking around, and what's it called? Quick FX? Where's that? It'll be on one of these. Quick FX. Click on that, and that should disappear. Styles, not going to use that. Vector, styles, get rid of that. Paintbrushes, probably won't use that. And then if you want more space, we can go appearance and click and drag and drop that there. Stroke, we can do the same. Color, I'm not going to use that. So that's probably there. And swatches, I'm probably not going to use that either. So that'll be under color. Swatches. That makes this window a bit bigger, so we've only got 2. Down here we've got Transform, Navigator and History. So I'll probably use Transform and History. And then we've got the main ones here, which are Layers, Appearance and Stroke. Okay. Oops, not that one. God, what am I doing? So yeah, I think this week I'll start putting some videos together for an affinity series for laser cutting. That'll help you both get up to speed with it. The pen tool's really handy. It's just knowing how to move the nodes and manipulate them to be either a sharp point or a smoothed corner, or even a broken corner where you can have a smooth in and then a sharp out. Right. If anyone's got any more questions, then please ask. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna call it a day. We've had a nice 2 hours. I think I'll try and think of a few more things to say next time. All right. Thanks for your time. As I've said before, I've always enjoyed watching. Yeah, well, thanks very much. Thanks for watching them. You know, I got to a point where I kind of got lost with what else I could teach, really, because Xtool is quite limited. And I'd kind of gone through virtually everything on the software, so I wasn't sure what to do next. But yeah, I'll do some videos on Affinity. But both of you, thanks for watching. It's been great, and I'm going to keep doing these, and hopefully it'll build, and everybody can jump in and help each other. You know, give good advice. Okay, thanks very much, Ordinary Woodworker. I'll catch you another time. And thanks very much, Barry Cuts. Thanks for watching my videos. And yeah, hopefully see you on another one. And come back and watch some of the Affinity ones, which I'm going to start tomorrow. Okay, I will do. I think I'm going to go and grab a beer. So, that's me signing out. Or will do in a minute when I find which button to press. Boom.